And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the old ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. In the year 1828, Andrew Jackson was elected President of the United States, and a boy born on an Ohio farm was named for him, Elias Jackson Baldwin, better known to millions of Americans as Lucky Baldwin. Now, luck is a pretty good word if you put a P in front of it. Young Elias had plenty of pluck. So I call these highlights in the fantastic career of Elias Jackson Baldwin, the man who was never late. When he was a lad of 4, he was currying the farm horses as far up as he could reach. And by the time he was 18, he had made $200 on his first horse race in Indiana where his family had moved. Enough money to get married on. 100 years ago. And so at 19, Baldwin eloped with a neighbor's daughter, Sarah Ann Unruh. But an Indiana farm was not big enough for this dynamic young man. So in 1853, with his wife Sarah Ann and a 6-year-old daughter Clara, Baldwin joined the gold rush to California. He opened a livery stable in San Francisco, where the demand for horses, as the only means of transportation to the gold fields, was bringing fancy prices. It's a pretty good bet that on this morning in 1859, the prospectors riding out of Baldwin's stables would never have guessed that the enterprising owner was destined to become one of the great builders of California. And the German immigrant who was at that moment buying his horses was to become the builder of a famous mining tunnel and mayor of San Francisco, Adolph Sutro.
How is it you never go up into the gold country yourself, Mr. Baldwin?
I'm a businessman, Mr. Sutro. Put my faith in good horses and good land. Sit down. Where are you heading this time?
Johnson's Cutoff, Gold Canyon.
Well, I don't envy you that trip. Came down it with a pack train on my trek west. And that's as barren a stretch of sand and sagebrush as I ever hope to see.
Barren on the surface. But underneath, deep in the sun-bleached mountain, I believe there lie untold riches.
And you aim to find them, huh?
It's going to take a lot of money to sink shafts and hoist ore and extract the gold from it. That's where men like you will come in. I'll be bigger business than placer mining ever was.
I bought a little share in a mine in Grass Valley the other day. Already I've been offered more than I paid for it.
That's just it. There'll be fortunes made just in trading shares.
Fortunes made and fortunes lost, huh?
Look at those silver bars.
From Comstock Lode, Washoe District.
The ore assays up to $2,000 a ton in gold and $5,000 in silver.
Well, Mr. Sutro, looks like you were right.
It's going to take a lot of promotion and machinery to get that ore out. Millions of dollars worth.
Now you're talking my language. Might be dropping in on you one of these days up in Virginia City.
Right now, we better get back to the stable, boss. Something tells me there's going to be a considerable increase in your business. You dig it out of the Comstock the easy way, Mr. Baldwin.
I told you I'm a businessman.
Yes, the livery stable's done all right this last year.
Sure, San Francisco's booming. New residents and investors coming in from the east. New wealth pouring in from the Comstock.
Don't you ever get the urge to go up there yourself? Get in on the direct profits?
Yes? I've been thinking about that, Mac. I'm going to dispose of my livery business and go to Virginia City.
Leave San Francisco. And your wife and daughter?
Well, daughter Claire is in Mills College, you know, and my wife Sarah Ann won't miss me. No, my home ties are not what they were, Mac.
I'm sorry, Mr. Baldwin.
I want you to reserve a few teams and wagons for me and sell off the rest. I'm going to load them up with lumber for the mines on my way up there.
Make your trip pay for itself, eh?
That's always been my way.
All right, sir. I'll take care of it. If you see Mr. Sutro up there, give him my respects.
I'll do that, Mac.
Baldwin, I see you made it.
Well, Sutro, sit down. Have a bite on me.
No, thanks. I just ate. How are you making out?
I'm learning. I talk to everybody that knows anything. I've been down in the mines. I've looked into the stopes and galleries and examined the stringers of ore. I'm even studying geology.
You're a very wise man.
How does the lode look to you?
It's the greatest true fissure in the history of mining.
Understand you're trying to promote a tunnel.
Yes. Someday, when I can build it, my tunnel will cut mining costs in half and increase the depth the lode can be worked by 2,000 feet. But that time is not yet.
Don't worry, it'll come.
I'll see to that. Have you bought feet in any of the mines?
Put everything I've got into those that look good to me. Now I'm going back to San Francisco. I figure on letting my business finance my future in mining shares. Mac, I want you to sell my shares in every mine that's at its peak of production right now.
That'll be Yellow Jacket, Chala, and Potosi.
And Savage. Best in the Comstock this year. Here you are, Mac. Cash 'em in.
You sure know how to pick them, Mr. Baldwin. These'll net you a cool $1 million.
I deposit it to my account. Oprah and Crown Point aren't doing much. Well, I'll hang on to them.
Hale and Norcross are down.
Keep that, too. Mac, I'm 39. I've worked hard all my life. Now, I want to get out and see something in the world. I'm going tiger hunting in India.
You deserve a vacation, sir.
You've been a loyal and able manager, Mac. I'll leave things in your hands. Now, about this Hale and Norcross stock, I paid $800 a foot for it. If it comes back up to that, sell. The shares will be here in my safe.
Yes, sir.
Welcome home, Mr. Baldwin. Been a long time.
2 years, Reuben.
How was the hunting in India?
Oh, it's a wonderful sport. Bagged 2 big killer cats.
Oh, that isn't all you did. I hear you organized a vaudeville troupe in Japan and brought them back to the States with you.
Smash hit in New York and on the road. First time anything like this has been seen in America. Opening in San Francisco this week. Then I'm selling them to Gilbert for a world tour. Want you to drop the papers.
Isn't there anything you can't make a success of?
My ideas are still way ahead of me. Understand things aren't going too well in the Comstock. Everything shot to blazes.
All except Hale and Norcross. They struck a rich pocket. It turned out to be a bonanza.
That's so. Say, I had some feet in that. Told McHenry to sell when it got up to what I paid for it. $800.
Ooh. You played out of luck there. You know what it's selling for now? $12,000 a foot.
12,000 of... Oh, well. He's crying over spilled milk, huh? That must be McHenry. I told him to meet me here.
Come in.
Mr. Baldwin. It's good to see you. Hello, Mr. Lloyd.
Mac?
You're looking very fit, sir.
Fit as a fiddle. Say, Mac, Reuben's been telling me about Hale and Norcross. What did you get out of it for me?
Not a thing, Mr. Baldwin, because I couldn't sell.
What?
You told me to sell at 800, but you locked your safe and took the key with you. Well, there was nothing I could do. I wrote you a letter, but got no answer.
I never got the letter.
If you want to sell today, I can get you 12,000 a foot. With what you have, it'll run into millions.
Well, here you are, man. What are we waiting for? By golly, for once I'm going to let you call me Lucky Baldwin. Rube, you know what I'm going to do? You remember those lots out on Market Street where we used to hunt quail?
Yes.
I'm going to put a hotel in that corner. The greatest hotel this side of New York. And in conjunction with it, I'm going to build the Baldwin Theater.
Talk about ideas. That one will take $3 or $4 million.
I know it. Say Crown Point and Ophir are down, huh?
Bedrock. What are you going to do? Sell?
Rube, to be a success, you got to keep your eye on two ends. You have to know when to go into a deal and when to go out. And I don't think this is the time to go out and Crown and Ophir. In fact, I think I'll buy some more.
Mr. Baldwin, I've got news. There's a new bonanza in Crown Point.
Just what I figured.
Stock's up to 50, but it's so closely held, no sales are being made.
That means they're trying to counteract the report of the bonanza. Keep the price down till I can buy more.
That recent court decision in New York ruled that a majority can shut down a mine.
Not if I can stop them. Rube, corral your whole tribe of lawyers. I got a job for you. And round up a bunch of our men for me. Tell them I'll pay them $40 a day. I'm sending them up to Crown Point to keep that mine open. How's it going?
Mine's open. And I've just had an offer from John P. Jones.
What about?
He and Sharon want to buy you out for $2.5 million.
Well, get on the job, man. Tell them we'll sell. And Reuben, I've got another idea. I want to own a stable of thoroughbreds. And I think Southern California might be a good place for it. Now, I'm going down there, and I'm taking you with me. This valley we're driving in.
San Gabriel. You can get a view of it for miles from the top of that rise.
Let's take a look.
Golly. Look at that.
Must be plenty of water coming down out of that mountain range.
Yes, sir. And the climate's the best on earth.
Why, this valley is paradise. Who are the owners of these ranches?
I don't know them all, but some of them got their land from the King of Spain. The best one's the Santa Anita. Harris Newmark, the wholesale grocer, owns that.
Well, I'm going to buy it. This valley is a heaven on earth. And someday, I'm going to own all of it. That Santa Anita Rancho of yours might be a good place for a racing stable, Mr. Newmark. I've been thinking I might buy it.
I'm not too eager to sell, Mr. Baldwin.
I'll give you $150,000.
Cash.
Not interested.
Well, how much do you want for it?
$175,000.
Sorry. It's not worth it. Yes, I know. It's been a week since I made Newmark that offer. I haven't had a peep out of him since.
Well, he gave you his price. Evidently, he doesn't mean to sell for less.
I've got to have this beautiful land. I'm going to make it my home.
And there's just one thing to do. Meet his price.
Good morning, Mr. Baldwin.
Morning, Newmark. I've decided to meet your price. Now, I think it's steep, but I'll give you $175,000.
It's 200,000 now.
What?
And next week it'll be 225,000.
Man, you must be out of your head, or else you think I'm out of mine. Just forget I ever made an offer.
Very well.
You must think I own the mint. Now he's got the price up to more than 25 an acre for that sheep pasture.
Sheep pasture? I thought you told me that valley was a paradise on earth.
I did, but for $200,000.
Yes, but don't forget, the Southern Pacific and the Santa Fe Railroads are both going to build through there. He knows that as well as you do. He's liable to put the price up another jog next week.
Just what he said he'd do.
Well, why not act while there's time? Have you forgotten what's in this box?
All right, Newmark. I'll pay $200,000.
It's $225,000 now.
Oh, no, you don't. That's next week. I'm buying the Santa Anita right now.
Looks like you've got yourself a deal.
Good enough. I'm going to make the Santa Anita the showplace of California. Give it to me straight, Rube. Where do I stand?
It's a pretty staggering blow, sir. Besides your $2 million cash in the Bank of California, your shares in the Comstock lost 30% in a day.
My investments have never been strung out so thinly in my life. I spent $2 million on a new hotel, and I need $1.5 million more to complete it. Why, I've spent over $100,000 on racehorses. And I'm committed deeply in the San Gabriel Valley.
Banks down there are closed, too. Everything is paralyzed.
Well, I'm not licked yet. Have you talked to Ralston, the president? What's the actual condition of the bank?
He said there's dollar for dollar in the bank for depositors, if it's managed right. But mighty little for the stockholders.
Then we've got to subscribe money and put the bank on its feet.
The president prefers to throw it into bankruptcy.
We can't let him do it. For the entire economy of the Wesleyans on that bank. Get your hat, Lloyd.
Where are we going?
To see every big stockholder in the bank. I'll subscribe $1 million, and we've got to get others to do the same. One way or the other, the Bank of California has got to reopen, or the West is a dead duck.
Looks as though San Francisco's mighty happy to have the bank reopen. You can be proud of what you've done, sir.
Yeah, I'm not through yet. You see that line? Those people are waiting to get their money out. Here, you take the reins. I'm going to put on a little show.
Don't you want me to help you?
Nope. You just stay put. See what happens. Excuse me.
Good morning, Mr. Baldwin.
Morning.
Say, there's a lot of gold here, Mr. Baldwin.
$40,000.
Did you hear that? Mr. E.J. Lucky Baldwin, president of the Pacific Stock Exchange, who already has $3 million in this bank, has just added $40,000 in gold.
I reckon
That was a smart move, Mr. Baldwin. You certainly stopped the run on the bank.
Whoa! There's my land. There's 54,000 acres of it.
It's beautiful.
Man can walk 18 miles in a straight line, never step off my land. Jenny, it could be our land if you'd say the word. I know. You're thinking of the other women in my life.
I wasn't thinking about that at all.
Well, my public reputation is such that you must have been warned against me.
I'm not a child, Mr. Baldwin.
You are a child. And that's another thing against me. You're 20, and I'm a man with a daughter your age. Oh, it's true. My second wife has her divorce, and Sarah Ann is dead.
She was the one you really loved.
Yes. Yes, long time ago. Jenny, I can't bring your youth, but I can give you the mature love of a man's heart and the bounty of a man who has worked hard to win. It lies there on the floor of that valley. Jenny, do I stand a chance, or is there some younger fellow?
There are many young fellows, and several of them have asked me to marry them. But beside you, they seem callow and insignificant.
You mean?
I mean, I fell in love with you the first time I met you, Elias.
Jenny.
Why does it have to take so long?
It was nothing like this when my first child was born.
Jenny is a delicate little thing.
You do think she's going to make it, don't you?
Sure. Sure she will, old man.
If anything should happen to Jenny, I'd...
Well, looks like you're a father again.
You have a lovely little daughter, Mr. Baldwin.
And my wife?
She's going to be all right. You may see her in a few minutes.
Little girl, huh? Oh, I hope she's the spitting image of her mother.
Have you and Jenny picked a name? Oh, yes. We're going to call her Anita, after our ranch, Santa Anita. That's the place I've been the happiest.
And this is the happiest moment of my life.
You know, when I get back to the ranch, I'm going to plant a little redwood tree in honor of little Anita's birth.
Are you happy, Elias?
Oh, with you safe and a beautiful little daughter? How can you ask?
I wanted to give you a son, but maybe next time.
I'm perfectly content, my darling. And just to prove it, I'm going to give you a present.
What's it going to be?
I'll tell you. You know that lake down on the ranch? Well, on the shore, I'm going to build you the most wonderful little house you ever saw, with marble fireplaces and stained glass windows and everything your heart desires.
Elias, I love you.
The lovely Jenny didn't live to see the beautiful cottage her husband built for her. But as the years went by, her little daughter Anita spent many happy hours there with her father, Lucky Baldwin.
I got you on the run, Papa.
That's what you think. I beat you again.
Oh, Papa, you always win. You're just plain lucky, Papa.
I'll say I'm lucky.
The portrait of little Anita's mother, Jenny, is still there in stained glass
In the door of the cottage, which has been restored by the Historical Committee of the California Arboretum Foundation, Incorporated, to look exactly as it did in the year when it was used as Rancho Santa Anita Guest House.
A few yards away is a redwood tree planted on the day little Anita was born.
Across the lake is the old adobe house where Lucky Baldwin lived out his full dynamic span of 81. This beautiful spot is now California Historical Landmark 367, Los Angeles State and County Arboretum, and you can go to Santa Anita today and see it for yourself.